If the warm-up was any indication of how the talk's going to go, I'm very excited about this.
Fun
times.
Yeah, we've had many people say, "What are y'all talking about?" We've gotten a lot of great reviews, a lot of positive
A
feedback.
lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, we've been told that we don't stay on topic very well.
Hey,
Well, I'm not going to help
the
you.
best of us.
I'm not going to be able to help with that, I don't think.
I know, as I said, there's so many, I think there's so many great podcasts where people stay on topic and they talk about what they're supposed to, and there's room for one that just doesn't.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour podcast about this thing. I don't want to do that, but let's do like a 30-minute podcast about all of these things.
We were going to call the podcast, "Well, I should have gotten ready for this."
I mean, yeah, I forgot my fiddle today to come do a fiddle session, so
That's probably our
I
fault.
probably should have gotten ready for this too.
It says a lot about our relationship, though, man. It's like, it's all right, man. We're just going to hang. We're going to bro down. We're going to get work done regardless.
No, that's like the fun part of like doing this is, we get to meet really cool people. We rarely get to just like hang out. Sure. And so this was like such a good excuse to, I don't know, I guess we could just call and be like, "Hey, Joe, you want to come hang out?" And that probably would have been fine.
I would have came just to hang out. But this is fun.
Yeah, cut the podcast. Let's just hang out.
But
Wait, that was an option?
that was it this week, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. We're just going to have a good day.
Yeah.
No, instead we get to be productive and hang out
Doing
at the
work and
same
hanging out.
time.
I didn't realize I was hoods up.
Dude, hood it up, bro.
My bad.
It's great.
This is not related to anything we're doing, but was it Nard gave me this hoodie at a show, and then I spilled something on it. Luckily, I was able to fix it, but I went to go buy another one, and I couldn't find it, and it was only in the ladies section, and so I don't know if he pranked me or not.
Really?
I don't know. Either way, I really like this hoodie. I don't really
I
care.
like the hoodie a lot.
Thank you.
That does sound like
it's a Nard move.
it sounds like a backhanded Nard move.
Yeah, I could see it being like he's going to see this podcast and be like,
Got him.
yeah, I don't know.
I love that.
Dude, I was trying to, as we were like getting ready for this, I was trying to figure out when the first time we met was.
The first time that I remember meeting you guys was in Alpine, Texas.
Okay.
Really?
was.
That's right.
Was it you? Did your amp go out?
right?
It did.
Okay,
Jeff's amp went out.
Oh, okay.
So it was like before, maybe Jake. I don't know. I don't know which guitar player was playing with us, but definitely that was the first time that I remember meeting you guys was in Alpine.
The black Bandmaster that we're using, that was the amp that was used as a replacement.
Fantastic. I'm excited.
No, we love that
That's
spot.
the first time. What a cool little spot. What's the name of that bar?
Granada.
Granada.
How long ago was that?
A lifetime, dude.
Date.
It was a lifetime ago.
6 years?
15, 16, yeah. 6, 7 years
I
ago.
would guess 16.
Yeah. So yeah, Stephen Wood is the guy who ran that place, and he's like just awesome. He like we got along really well because he's like a crazy chef dude.
Okay.
And it's like he'd worked. I don't know this for a fact, but I want to say he worked at Commander's Palace in New Orleans, and then he worked at French Laundry in like Unionville, like outside of Napa.
Okay. I love Napa.
Yeah, so the dude just like knows food, and he's been around such amazing.
He's
people.
somebody who needs to be on the podcast.
Yeah, we need to.
The stories that
we
dude
should have brought
has.
him out here. I guess we probably will. But yeah, that was such a fun show for us, and that was also the night that we learned. What was that song called?
Oh! It was the Merle Haggards song.
Probably Ramblin' Fever.
Ramblin' Fever. Do you know this story?
No.
Oh, okay. This is kind of funny.
So we had never met y'all before, but we knew who you were by reputation. And so when we were finishing our set, like a lot of you were side stage and like having a good time and like great vibes. And we come off and Cody comes up to us like, "Y'all were great. Y'all need to come join us for a song. Do y'all know Ramblin' Fever?" And we were like, "Yes, we do.
Of course we do. Yeah.
He's like, "Great. It's about halfway through the set. Just hang side stage around then and be ready." So we then had 45 minutes to go and learn Ramblin' Fever. And we still sing that song to this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we inspired one more band to play Ramblin' Fever.
Yeah,
That's
we
great.
play it all the time, and yeah, we learned it in that little alleyway behind the Granada Theater.
Yep.
That's fantastic. That day, I went to a music store in Alpine.
There's only one. So we know which one you went to.
And I saw a denim-covered Fender Twin. And like,
Did you get it
at your
I was
house?
so close. No, but I was so close. I was me and Jake was definitely with me because we were going back and forth on like, man, should we? I don't know. Should we? Like, do we really want a denim amp? Yes, we definitely want it. We definitely want
definitely
it.
want
No
it.
questions asked.
Well, Funny story. So it wasn't that time we played there. It was the time before we played. It was a festival that was in the Granada. And I was playing acoustic at that time. And after our set, this dude comes up to me and goes, "Hey, man, you're a great player. I love the acoustic vibes. It's great. But if you want the best sounding acoustic of all time, what you need to do is get an old 50s Esquire or like a Telly or...
What was that? Yeah, he was saying get an Esquire.
So get an old...
a Nocaster.
Yeah, get an old 50s Esquire.
Yeah, just, pick up one of those.
And then put acoustic strings on it and plug it direct in. And it will be the best sounding thing you've ever had. And we were like, okay, bro.
You guys have some 60s guitars. Did you try it?
No, I'm not putting acoustic strings on that.
I'm not putting them on any of my guitars.
But funny thing, so we're like, okay, crazy old man. Then we found out later he was one of the original builders for the Fender Custom Shop, and he has like 4 of them strung up like that, 4 50s Nocasters.
So he wasn't totally an insane person. Like,
I mean, it's still a crazy idea, but like...
It was a wild idea when he did it the first time, for sure. But I don't know. I guess that carries a little more weight.
But yeah, it's just like when somebody's like, hey, like, you know how to get, the best acoustic sound is like, you need $80,000. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't know why we didn't think
$80,000 will fix this problem real easy.
I don't know why we didn't think of that one.
Yeah. You want the best amp tone? Here, just buy a Dumble. Well, yeah, why didn't I think of that?
Have you ever played on a Dumble?
No.
Oh, man. It's
we played a couple, and
it was funny. The first time
wonderful.
I ever saw a Dumble in person, it was at like church. Somebody, like a volunteer, brought a Dumble to play guitar at the children's ministry. And somebody just like sent me a picture of like, hey, this guy's got this goofy like amp. Have you ever seen these? And I just immediately just like took off like running. And I was just like, what in the world is going on?
And of course, nobody in the band knew what it was, but they knew who we were. And so when we walked in and we're like, oh my God, like then all of a sudden the crowd formed because everybody wanted to know like what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, there's like $100,000 amp just sitting in the corner over here. You guys have no
you
idea.
Never see those.
I've never seen one.
I've
seen one maybe at like Chicago Music Exchange behind the counter.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, neat, Dumble. But like, they weren't going to let some 20-year-old kid play it.
Well, dude, last time we went to Chicago, they had a 59 Burst Les Paul. And whoever was working that day was super stoked about it. He was like, do you want to play the Burst? And we're like, yeah.
Maybe I should have asked.
That's got to happen. Then you ever just go into music stores and play on ridiculous stuff?
Yeah.
I think you have to have some stories of that.
Yeah, so Jake and I, the day that Jake and I met George Gruen from Gruen Guitars in Nashville, we just went in there to go kill time. We have a lot of days off in Nashville just killing time while Cody's working, doing whatever work he needs to get done. And so we were like, let's take some of these scooters. Let's go to Gruen. Let's go to Carter's. Let's do the tour of Nashville guitar stores. Yeah. And we get to Gruen, and when you walk into Gruen Guitars with someone who plays as well as Jake does, they immediately come up to you and like, hey, you guys want to go upstairs and see the cool stuff? So George has this the second floor is just all...
Never been, but I've heard.
Oh, my God. Like it's...
No, I've never been.
I'll show you some pictures and videos of it later. Like some of the craziest, like Bo Diddley's guitar, 20s Martins, 20s Gibsons, just the wildest guitars. Then Gruen's stories are just the best stories in the world because he knows every guitar player for the past 50 years.
Right.
Just wild. Really, really cool experience.
You've been to, is it Emerald or Rumble Seat? What's the one that's down the street that they like specialize in custom color stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've been to that one.
I think it's Rumble Seat.
I think it's Rumble Seat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of the largest. They don't have like a ton of stuff, but
it's a smaller selection.
But like all like rare color like Strats.
I'm in for that.
Yeah, it was super cool.
I like weird color guitars.
And they also had like a massive like Marshall display, and like they had like full sets in like orange and red, and just like the kind of stuff that makes us like really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Crayola Marshall stack wall.
Yeah, I mean, like straight up, like they did. It was like a rainbow of Marshalls.
I had the chance to get a red Marshall like head from the early 70s. It was like a super bass or something like that. And I still regret not getting it because I've never seen one since. They're sick. Yeah. Those big red boxes are so good.
Yeah.
So if we're going to ask you if there was a piece of gear that got away, would it be the Gene amp? Or is there another one?
I mean, that's pretty high up there. Yeah. I mean, I switched to a Kemper a few years back just for traveling and tube purposes and all the things that the Kemper solves. There's some things I dislike about it, but it solves a lot of my problems.
Still got the tube amps for at home?
Yep. Okay. But I still never really fire them up. I fired one up to test a volume pedal last night for Judson Cole, and that's the first time I've used it in months. And so I've been on the Kemper train, so I kind of quit diving into pedals and all that a few years ago. Just
There's no
I
need
don't
to
really
anymore.
use many pedals in the Kemper. Like we cover a rush deal during the set, so I use a pretty cool phaser, but most of it's just a little bit of verb, a little bit of delay, some trim.
Yeah.
Which all of it's in the box stuff does just fine for me.
Yeah. I love how good the Kemper's gotten. I feel like in a way it's a little bit, it's like shut down a bit of like the nerdy side of like finding sounds and like constantly tweaking stuff.
Different kind of nerdy.
Yeah.
I'll agree with both of those sentiments. Like
It's a double-edged sword.
I quit chasing different gear, but now like whenever I have it at home, if I'm making a record for someone, like I don't just use my sounds that I use on stage with Cody. Like I'll go find an amp and find a sound that really speaks to my ear. I don't really care as much about the label.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and you don't have to go patch cables and plug everything in to try different stuff. Like I can
super nice.
try a Tron up or any different effect I want and just really dial them all in. So I really enjoyed that. And the stereo image on it is just mind blowing. And the fact how much control you have over it. Really
Yeah.
neat.
Or just what it comes down to, for me, it's just the maintenance thing of we have so many cool pedals and amps here, and maybe it's like a third of them don't work right now or just like need to be serviced.
They're scratchy or something. There's a pot
Yeah.
missing. Yeah.
And used to, I
Noisy.
think in the
There's
before
noisy.
4 times, like before the COVID, it was I feel like we were every week taking gear to our amp tech's house, and then we needed to not do that anymore.
Totally.
And honestly, I just got tired of troubleshooting pedal boards and patch cables.
That was
Yeah.
that was a huge part of my switch to it.
Yeah.
That's just why I started playing drums.
Patch
Forget
cables.
all of that.
Patch cables.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's
a lot of time.
You've got all of those drums, and then to set up your pedal board, and
I just hit stuff and go home, man.
I like your
about
style. I like your style.
I'm
and
lazy.
your hair. And
I'm
your
lazy,
good-
dude. Mullet Bros.
Yeah. Look at you just waving about, waving about. I've got a buddy in College Station. His name's Miles, and he's got like halfway down his back mullet, and like we don't wave to each other when we see each other in town. Like we just shake our hair.
oh man,
That's so
We
good.
were on a family trip to Lukenbach. We played there this last weekend, and I literally had a lady get out of the car and goes, "I know this is a weird question. Where do you get your hair cut? My son's got a mullet, and they never cut it right."
Don't get it right.
And shout out to my wife. She fades me up, keeps
Hey,
me clean.
look-
So
Let's go,
Looks
Hannah
good.
Smith.
Yeah.
I told her, you got to learn. You want it done right? You got to do it yourself.
Gotta do it yourself.
I remember like
Well, Marcy B, you listening to this? You need to figure that fade out.
I think whenever we first moved out here to the country, like finding somebody who could do like a good proper fade was like difficult. I never thought that the same thing's going on in town where people are like, I just can't find a good mullet guy.
Can't find a good mullet guy, man.
I had to find a chick. I got a good mullet chick in College Station at a place
Yeah.
called House of Beard. Highly recommend. If this is what you're going for, or she takes good hair care all
Good
around.
hair
But
care.
if you want a mullet, she's my chick.
Beard looks good too, man. It's good and strong.
I do feel like College Station's the kind of place where you get a good mullet cutter.
She's great.
Like if there's any college that's going to have a solid mullet barber program,
Texas A&M.
they have that. They have a barbecue course that's
They
like
do.
really hard to get into.
They do. That's how I know this guy.
Oh, yeah, no way.
Yeah, that's how I know this guy. So Joey and I, Cody's bass player, Joey Pruski, and I have a 90s country cover band that we've done some work with y'all called Peaches and Creme. And the manager and booking agent for that's a friend of ours, fiddle player named Wes Barlow. His fiance was like the president or high whatever of the A&M barbecue club while she was there. So she knows like every pitmaster of all the top 40s of the state.
Yeah.
So like we just go out and do barbecue tours all the time.
Heck yeah.
He's like always, hey man, I'm going through Seguin. He's like, go to the Burnt Bean. It's gonna be a line, but it's worth the wait. So he always, normally he can let me skip the line. It's great. But, yeah,
It's good to be.
That's a good
all from
connection.
Good to be
A&M
in Peaches
barbecue
and Creme,
hookups, yeah.
man.
All
Get
from
those
A&M
barbecue
barbecue
hookups.
It's the best.
PNC, baby.
I've eaten snows and didn't have to wait in line. Like that's a hookup.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're living the dream, dude.
That's what
I really am.
I've actually paid somebody to wait in line for me at Franklin before.
Really? I've heard of
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
I've
this
heard of
was
that.
like 6 years ago. I just
Professional
moved to
line
Austin.
waiters, dude. That's a side hustle.
It used to be a lot cheaper. I mean, I paid $10, so I was like, yeah, to wait for 2 hours. That's $5 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not even minimum wage.
No, it's like maybe I should admit to that on. But
Just hustled some
I
Austin
did.
dude.
Well, he named his price.
Hey,
Yeah, he was.
What
I think it was like I just like tipped him. He was already doing a run for somebody else, and it was like
He was already going to be standing there, and he just made an extra $10. Is what happened.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Hustle,
probably okay.
bro. Hustle. Let's
Good
go.
hustle, yeah.
Just imagine him sitting there doing emails and lying like,
Yeah, he's working. Like he's at work. He's
But
probably
there's
picking it up for his boss.
Yeah, there's like this 70-pound kid walking into Franklin and like ordering like $500 worth of barbecue for lunch. I feel like at a certain point they got to know.
They definitely know. They don't care. They're just trying to sell all the barbecue and go home.
Oh, and they do. Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
Did y'all do much barbecuing on the road?
We have Blackstone on the bus. that
Okay.
We
Like
maybe two
inside, or
times.
do y'all pull it like outside?
Both. We got the
Okay.
electric one so we could do it inside if it's raining, and we've always got the generator running on the bus, so why
Yeah.
burn two fuels?
Right,
Save
right.
the environment and stuff. So we just run a cord through the window,
Oh yeah,
and we got a table sits underneath the bay, and we cook maybe 2 days a week whenever we're on off days and stuff.
yeah. Are you pit master?
Me and our lighting guy Jimmy are
Okay.
the go-tos for the grill, and Joey makes all the sides in the microwave. And he is a microwaving son of a gun. Microwaving son
magician
of a
with the
gun. He
microwave.
really
Yeah,
is.
for people I feel like who don't live road lives, that's actually a skill.
It really is. Like,
It really
it's
is.
tricky, and he knows the bus microwave perfectly. It's great.
Yeah. We just got a, I guess we were out doing like NFR stuff, and I was walking by the booths, and one of those sales guys just like
They got
knew
us.
how to talk to me.
They wrangled him, man.
Yeah, they did, and it worked. That's the first time I've ever like gotten suckered into buying something that changed my life. But they have like a suitcase size like pellet smoker.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's outside.
Yes, I'm gonna need to see this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like this big, and so like I can just throw it in the trailer, and like we get the sound check, like throw whatever on, just start smoking stuff.
Start smoking it right in front of the bus. That's
Yeah,
That's gonna
and
be
as long as
happening.
nobody gets drunk and steals it before we're done with sound check. Like I know it's eventually gonna happen. It's just the price of doing business.
Yeah.
It's the cost of doing business, Chuck.
Yeah, part of me wants to have like a real like old school, just like massive freaking like chain around it, like chain it to the spoke.
Comically large.
Yeah,
Chain it to the rim of the trailer.
yeah. I think it'd be nice.
Yeah. I think a bicycle lock would probably work, but a chain would be way cooler.
Yeah. It would probably be a fake chain. So it's just mostly gonna be for looks.
Yeah. Something like a plastic chain and a carabiner.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
So Jody, how did you get started? Like, where do you come from musically?
So my grandpa's a Pentecostal preacher. I grew up going to his church.
Cheers.
And he got me started playing bass whenever I was probably 5. And
The best instrument right now. anyways.
obviously.
Yeah.
So grew up playing bass, took some piano lessons, didn't really get into it, but it helped me kind of see how it all worked to the theory side of things. Learned some guitar chords and played like bass all through high school. Played in the A&M jazz band, played in the A&M orchestra, playing upright.
Oh, cool.
Didn't know that.
And then got the Cody gig. And I've known Cody through high school, through like FFA talent team and stuff. We both competed. And got a call to do a fill-in with him and been with him ever since. I was 20.
When was that?
Yeah, 2010. I was like, just turned 20.
So is that like one of your first like gigs outside of church? Or
No,
you did some bar
I
gigs?
played with a family band called Parker Heights all through high school, doing bar gigs. I probably started doing that when I was 13.
What instrument?
Bass.
Bass, okay.
And then when I graduated, we were looking for a fiddle player, and they're rather hard to find. So I was like, I can't be that hard. So I called my grandpa, and he's like, yeah, I got one under the bed. Come over and pick it up. So I spent the summer learning how to play fiddle, and it was, I guess, 2 years later, Cody picked me up. I played for Jared Birmingham, Jason Allen, Zona Jones, kind of on and off all three for those couple years there after high school, and then I've been with Cody ever since.
Dude, heck yeah.
Yeah. But I guess maybe 7 years ago, we decided that we needed more guitar and just a couple of tunes. We were doing like some LaDue covers and stuff that just didn't need fiddle. I was just playing guitar power chords on fiddle. So
Gotcha.
I just picked up a guitar and started playing some power chords. And now I do maybe like 5-6 songs a set on
About to
guitar.
ask, yeah, that's the split.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, maybe not even a third.
yeah.
The ones that just don't need fiddle.
So guitar came after fiddle?
Way after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
way
curious, are you running the guitar through the Kemper as well?
Yeah, both.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So the guitar takes the stereo out, and then don't tell Kemper. My workaround for not having switchable outputs on there is I just send my last effect slot out as a effect send into a DI.
Oh, yeah.
So I get 7 effect slots and the amp. So I just run like a Neve preamp for my fiddle. Verb and delay. I don't do a lot with it, but yeah, just send it out to a DI. My sound guys love it.
That's clever.
We were on the Miranda tour when I switched to it, and we spent maybe a month or so just kind of going back and forth on EQs. Hey, what'd you EQ on it last night during the show? Cool, I'll take it out here and I flatten yours, and we just kind of made it to where I can take it just about anywhere and plug it in and turn it up. It's normally pretty good to go on either instrument, and with separate outputs. It's pretty rad.
Let's go, dude.
Kempers.
Yeah, really enjoy it. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have Kemper questions off camera later.
Yeah,
I love Kemper questions.
Yeah, we don't need to spend the entire podcast talking about Kempers, but
Yeah.
They're handy. Anyway, let's talk about tube amps. What kind of tube amps are we going to play through later? Speaking of things we're not using.
Well, and I guess, for people who have not been here, I guess we've been joking a lot because our engineer Grizz will be like, hey, guitars sound great. Do we have like some different options? And it's like, dude, pick any Fender amp you want. We got it.
And y'all really do. Like they have every vintage Fender amp that you want to play here.
There's like, I think we're missing 3. Like there's a couple, like we don't have a Vibra King. We don't have a Vibra
I was going to
Lux.
ask if you had the 310. The Vibra Lux was the 310?
Or Vibra
One of the
King,
Vibras.
Vibra King was
just
the 3x10.
the vibros. We don't have any vibros, like verbs and
Travis
all those.
Tritt plays a couple of those. I think Vibro Kings, and just
They're awesome.
cooking loud.
They're,
and they
they're
sound
so
good.
loud.
They sound so good. To get any kind of breakup, you just got to turn them up really loud.
That's probably even. So I love my favorite amps are like the old like brown face Basemans, and then we got that it's like a 57 Tweed Deluxe, and then like those two, and I got a original. It's like it's number 76 of the gold Klons.
Very cool.
Got from like Shaka Khan's guitar player when I was in college.
Yeah, you did.
And like I paid $400 for
So
it.
random. I love it.
Yeah.
I love those stories.
It was like, I remember like writing a check for $400 for an overdrive pedal and being like, my dad's eventually going to find out that I just wasted so much money on a stupid pedal that just like
With a horse on it. Yeah.
And I'm just like, gosh, like I remember like leaving and being like, I know these are cool. Like I do like it, but this is way too much for like, I go buy, 3 tube screamers for the price of this. And then, Taylor showed me on Reverb.
Go look on Reverb for a Klon Centaur and see what comes
Yeah,
up.
they're
It's
just obscene.
unbelievable.
Yeah, thousands.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So now
Crazy.
it just sits in a safe here. I don't dare take it anywhere.
Yeah, of course not.
But I guess, and back to the Kemper, it's like I can get those sounds and then
You
just
can profile
it.
that sound, yeah.
And then, if somebody steals my Kemper or breaks, I don't care as much.
Yeah,
I still care, but
I have the stage. I mean, I'm out $1,700. My old pedal board costs more than that. With just enough effects. What couple effects I run on fiddle and guitar, it costs more than $1,700. It'd be inconvenient, but like I could call Sweetwater. They could give me another one. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, so as long as you have a flash drive, you can pick up another one.
Yeah, I got my laptop with me. Just plug a cable right into it.
It's funny because we still we stopped now. So we have this new light show and it's kind of taken over our stage background. But up until that, for a long time, I was using a 67 Super Reverb that is my favorite amp.
Yeah.
And when we switched to the Kemper, we weren't ready to bring our full production out. So we kept our amps, but they were literally sitting there as dummy cabs.
I remember this. This.
So like literally having like a 67 like proper Super Reverb sitting behind me that wasn't plugged in, the back wasn't taken off.
Yeah.
It was just sitting there.
I remember this. Y'all played with us down in the valley somewhere. What's that soccer stadium in the valley that y'all did with us?
HEB.
Oh yeah.
HEB. And I was like, hey man, I thought you were playing through a Kemper. You're like, yeah, those are really old dummy cabs. I was like, well, it looks good.
Super cool, valuable dummy
Super
cab.
Reverb.
Dummy cabs.
And then the other one is a Fender Bassman, like the 59 reissue.
Yeah.
I picked it up at a pawn shop for like nothing. And then I went to take it to my tech to get him to just like service it and like get it all set up. And he's like, dude, where'd you find this? This is a prototype amp. And I'm just like, oh, like he's like, yeah, you should never touch this. Like you probably should call Fender. And so I didn't, but
Because they're going to be like, hey, can we have that back?
yeah, I thought it sounded really good. But so at this point, it's been double modded.
Well,
So
not by Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
Not by
rest in
Alexander.
peace, who just recently passed a week ago.
Yeah, we took it to Jesse over at Austin Vintage.
I love Jesse.
Yeah.
I love
Super
Jesse.
good dude.
I recommend 2 people a week to Jesse for servicing their stuff
Yeah.
around the Austin area.
Our amp tech just moved back to Houston. He wasn't here for a little bit. So for a while, Jesse we were constantly running out to Austin to get stuff set up. Just a never ending never-ending process. How often do you get your guitar set up?
I've got a guy in College Station, my buddy Garrett Snowden. He does them maybe 3 times a year.
Okay, it's not too bad.
So anytime they just don't feel good. And we've got a guy on the road who's really good. Like if they just need touch-ups,
Okay.
Jared will touch it up. And he's like, hey man, this is buzzing.
Well, I guess
it's fixed before it gets back to me.
You're running around with more modern guitars, aren't you?
Yes, I think all the ones I have on the road are all 6. Well, no, they're all 3-saddle. They're all 3-saddle telly style.
Okay.
All 3 of them, even my baritone. But you know, you can get them. They're all compensated saddles. You can get them in tune.
I feel like if we drive 8 hours, all of our stuff needs to be worked on.
It definitely makes a difference how they're carried. Definitely makes a difference. And like I can tell the difference in my stuff that rides underneath the bus or the stuff that rides in the trailer.
Right.
Like it just rattles loose. Like, and you can't Loctite this stuff because then it won't come loose. then it's that forever. So
Yeah. Which I guess.
you just get them set up. Turn the knobs. That's why the knobs are there.
Yeah.
So you guys just played the rodeo.
We did.
Oh, yeah. How
And
was
this
that?
is the 3rd time?
4th time.
4th time.
4th time. It's fantastic. They're so good at what they do there. It's a high pressure day, but it's really well done. It's easy, as far as those things could go. Right. It's a blast. Very cool.
So segue into favorite venue, favorite show.
Ooh, favorite venue. Red Rocks is the obvious answer.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Ryman, I've never been anywhere that has the energy that the Ryman has. Like just sing one out of tune note, and it just kind of makes it better, like just the room itself, the life in it, is just super, super special. There's the Gorge Amphitheater is just, we were sitting, it's this gorgeous venue in Washington, south of Washington, that is like backed up to a huge canyon and like goes up this huge hill. Very, very cool venue. But backstage they have this golf setup to where you just
Smash
whack
it
golf
into the
balls
canyon.
off into the canyon. Yeah, super cool.
Have I been there?
Cool.
We've not been there. I've played
you
there
have?
before, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Big
neat.
deal, bud.
I'm Mike, and I've played there before.
Big deal, bud.
He's like, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
We played the Gorge, guys. Yeah. So
There was a nice breeze that day too.
Have you ever gotten in trouble for accidentally?
No.
Okay, I have a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. I constantly, people are like, hey, when are y'all here next time? And I'll just like start telling them everything. And then like somebody overhears me is like, hey, yeah, like all of that's, you signed an NDA.
Yeah, I just normally don't know. Like I just, I don't know.
We,
I don't know where I'm at
we
next
don't
week. I
really
don't
say
know.
anymore because
Yeah.
we'll get on radio or on a podcast and we're just like,
Well, I'll even like forget
we'll
like,
be
you
where
know,
we're going to be.
When they announce it on the
bands in
internet.
town, man. Bands in town. Just
Yeah,
Google us.
We did a podcast. Was it last week for like a sports show? And I think we started. I just started like telling them about like our new single that comes out in 6 months that we haven't announced. And I was like, oh yeah, my bad. It's like we're we're working on it like all day here, and then you step into a phone call real quick, and it's like, oh, like super excited we're working on this, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to talk about that.
I've been pretty good about that. Like I said, normally I don't know where we're playing, so I can't give those kind of things away. But for the most part,
That's that's the way to go.
and that's it. I feel like that's the way to be. Like,
Yeah.
we don't get to surprise them if you tell them about everything.
the only time I got in trouble, I got banned from Disney with an artist I was playing with because I
Are you
put
gonna tell
on-
that story on the podcast?
I can't wait for
This
this.
is such a good
Do we
story.
get to
I don't
talk
know
about
if
it?
we can tell
It's our favorite.
We can.
Okay, yeah.
I'm so excited
Oh,
about this.
does anybody need anything else to drink? This is a good
I was
one.
actually
beer
thinking,
for this.
I'm gonna snag a beer. Y'all need anything?
I would
I'll
love a
take a
beer
beer,
for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the gym after this. I'm not gonna drink
It's
a
so
beer,
hilarious,
but I want
man.
to.
I'm excited about this story, Mike.
Yeah. This is probably
This is why we hired
10
Mike.
years ago
It had nothing
or
to
so?
do with his hair, his
Or the
beautiful, beautiful
drumming.
hair,
Yeah.
or the drumming.
I'm actually okay. I'm just like a mediocre drummer.
Yeah,
at
Mike
best.
doesn't actually play drums in our band. It's
actually
a lot of
all
people.
tracks.
Yeah,
Don't
It's
tell
all
anyone.
it's all ghost written, you know.
we have a great team of musicians who record all of our stuff for us, and we're actors.
Yeah.
Gers.
So
These banquets? Okay, I'll drink one.
I wasn't gonna, but
Yeah.
I could work out after a banquet.
Yeah.
now,
It's not a heavy beer. It's okay.
here's to Disney, boys.
Yeah.
It's a Disney.
It's an old Walt. So why did you get kicked out of band from Disney?
So we were playing a festival. This band I was in, and we'll leave them nameless. we were playing this, and we had a couple of girls out from our label, like video and documenting, because this is back at beginning of social media days. So this is a while back. You like load in and sound check at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So the park's closed.
Yeah.
So we were playing on the Beauty and the Beast stage, and all the costumes are just out in the back, like fair game.
Has Cody played the Beauty and the Beast stage?
No, we haven't.
Didn't think so.
But I see where the story's going. And I think we might have gotten banned from Disney too.
So under the persuasion of the girls from the label, I put on the Cogsworth the Clock costume.
Yeah, you did.
And I took a picture of it doing like this without the arms and the hands, so you could see my tattoos and stuff, like human hands, and posted it on Twitter at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up to like 15 missed calls, like management, label, like our tour manager. Everybody had called like freaking out. You got to take it down. Like Disney's like pissed. We got to get it off the internet. Like they're losing their minds. So we take it off, play the show. Nothing's wrong. Flash forward like several years, I was playing with an artist who was on tour with Miranda, and Miranda's manager's boyfriend at the time comes up and goes, "Holy crap, you're Tinkerbell!" And I'm like, "What are you talking about, Tinkerbell?" He's like, "You're Tinkerbell. You're the guy. You put on like a Tinkerbell costume at Disney." I was like, "It was Cogsworth." He goes, "That's it. I was in the room when they found out." Like he was helping like manage that festival. He's like, "Dude, they were losing their minds. They wanted to like bury you in the back of Disney in dungeon somewhere." And he's like, "Dude, he's a kid.
It's a
he's
haunted
like a
mansion.
19-year-old kid. Like, just get him to take it off the internet, man. It's like it's gonna be all right." So
That's
apparently he was
awesome.
like, "You're banned for life." And I was like, "I didn't know."
Well, apparently he
Never played Disney again. I've been there with another artist, Incognito, under
Have
the
you
radar.
been just like
Okay.
to visit?
I've not been just to visit.
Oh, buddy, you need to go. It's
Get
great.
you a fake ID. It'll be fine.
I'm gonna go once with my kids, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be
I'm
one
waiting-
and done, man.
I hope they stop you at the gate.
This
guy, no.
Listen,
Picture
I'll
of
be
your
dodging the
face on
bullet.
the
My
wall.
wife will have to go with the Disney with the
Yeah.
kids by herself, and I'll be like, "I can't go. I tell you, I can't go. They won't let me in."
You're still wanted #1 on Disney's list.
Oh,
That'd
that's
be
so
amazing.
Picture
funny,
me in
dude.
Cogsworth Clock. Like, we need this guy. Here's his tattoos.
Wanted.
So that's the thing is if you dress up like Clocksworth at Disney World, people in Miranda's band might think of you as Tinkerbell for 5 years.
Dude,
That's
I'm
awesome.
Tinkerbell, man. What a great nickname. Yeah. Tinkerbell.
I know.
Not a bad nickname.
I'm surprised that we haven't like run with it because we tend to like the stupider the nickname. We're like, that's what we're calling you forever.
That's what you're labeled now. So
Man,
Yeah.
that's such a good story, bro.
So costumes. Did y'all ever do where was it at? The Bell County Opry House in Schneider, West Texas?
Not yet.
So it's an old Susie Q. Y'all know Susie Q from the radio
Very
there?
familiar with Susie
They
Q.
owned it. They might not now, but they owned it at the time. And whenever we played there, and I had just gotten Cody's band, and there used to be an opera house, like a actual opera, West Texas, style opera house. So like there was costumes downstairs, but it was like Barney and stuff. So like we all dressed up and traipsed around the venue, but no one got mad about us.
yeah. Hey.
Well,
They were
what's it-
rooting us on.
They
was
were
it
like,
Disney-
"Come back."
Like protect the magic or whatever.
Yeah.
What's their deal?
Yeah, that's the thing. That was the problem. Is like it would
Everybody
ruin
knows
somebody's
Barney's
magic.
not real, but people don't know Peter Pan is real or not.
I was like, dude, it was just
debatable.
Cogsworth after, he hit some rough patches in life. He got tatted up. Maybe spent some time locked up,
Finally got a good haircut.
He got a good haircut.
Yeah.
Just let him be, man. He's on recovery mode.
I love it.
Oh, Clocksworth.
Clocksworth.
I'm surprised they didn't ask you to be in the movie when they redid it.
You know,
I just wish we were more famous so we could have
missed
made
out.
that happen.
they missed
That's what
out.
we would do with our famous powers. Just get
That's
you in
all I want
Disney
to do.
movies.
Like, I don't want to be famous because that doesn't sound fun to me, but like, I would use it for things like that, making my friends' dreams come true.
Dude, yeah, just show up in movies
Yeah.
randomly.
Which is not something that Mike has ever asked for. We've decided his dream is to be the human Clocksworth in the next remake of Beauty and the Beast. And that's what we started this podcast for, is to raise
about it.
awareness,
Raise
to
awareness.
get Mike in that movie that he does not want to be in.
Call Disney, guys. Call your local Disney.
Call your local Disney rep.
We want you.
It's going
That
to happen.
story is beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man.
It's how we make dreams happen. That's what we're here for.
Man. But the rest of yours looking busy?
It's looking great. It's looking great.
Dude, so how did I just immediately cut you off. But like how did how did Peaches and Cream start out?
Okay, so Joey and I were in New Braunfels somewhere around 2010, maybe early 2011, before he got in Cody's band for sure, and he got in Cody's band like halfway through 2011. We were hanging out at Billy's Ice and watching some buddies of ours play an open mic night, and we got to talking like, dang, man, we could probably play maybe almost that good.
We could do that.
We could do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't look that hard. Come on. You know any songs? He's like, I know some 90s country songs. I was like, well, I know some 90s country songs. Let's go play 90s country songs together. So we went up there and we both sang harmonies. So we went up there and sang harmony for each other back and forth on a couple of 90s country tunes. Came off and I'm like, just like almost falling over drunk at like 19 years old in a 21 and up bar. And the owner comes up and taps me on the shoulder. It's Billy's Ice. Yeah. Owner at the time who comes up and taps me on the shoulder is like, hey, man. I was like, yes. Hey, man. Yes. He's like, y'all are amazing. We got to get y'all back in here. He goes, what do I got to do to get y'all to come play here? And Joey looks at me. He's like, bar tab? He's like, done. He's like, gas money? He's like, we can do that too. He's like, you got to bill us as peaches and cream. He's like, that's weird, but all right. And now we've had the band for like 11 years, 12 years. So if we'd have known, we'd have probably named it something different, like Pocket Change or something cool. But peaches and cream,
Peaches
here we are.
Cream is great.
I think it's memorable.
I didn't know y'all been doing it that long.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing the full band thing for maybe like 5 or 6 years, but the first few years were just me and Joey acoustic.
Nice.
Wow.
Dude, heck yeah.
That's a good time, man.
That's a great story too.
So we've bugged y'all a couple times. One day we're gonna make a Peaches and Cream Powell Brothers thing happen.
We've got to. Let's do it.
That's the main reason we had you on the podcast. I just
man.
I just wanted to pitch Powell Brothers and Peaches and
you
Cream.
You want to come hang out with us again?
Yeah.
we brought you to hang out with us to ask you to hang out with us.
Hang out with us again. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Preliminary.
Preliminary.
This is like coffee before the date. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We're classy.
We're filling each other out.
We're classy. We don't want to jump anything too quick.
Man, Billy's Ice.
Billy's Ice.
So many questionable nights there.
We
I
played
just
there.
like the barbecue place next door.
Oh yeah, Coops.
I've been to Coops with you guys. I've not been to Billy's.
What's funny is I've never actually gotten barbecue there. I always get the steak and they dip it in the juice.
That sounds amazing.
It's really, really good, but I've actually never had barbecue there.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
I didn't mean for this to come out now.
Now it's out.
But I've never actually eaten barbecue at Coops. I've only ever gotten steak there.
Weird.
I know.
Yeah.
What's your favorite barbecue place?
Oh gosh, this is how you lose friends in Texas. Man, I don't know. I've been, especially since we moved out here, I haven't really gone out that much. I cook a lot.
Okay.
I like the Salt Lick in the hill country. That's
Love
kind
the
of
Salt Lick.
cliche, but it's good.
It is really
vibe.
good.
You gotta bring your own beer.
What's the like Blacks in South Austin?
Yep.
Terry Black's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's really good. There's like 2 spots in I don't even know what they're called. Like the town starts with an L. Lockhart. There's like 2 spots there. I feel like there's like several towns where like.
Yeah, I feel like every area's got its spot.
Yeah. Well, as much as we travel too, I feel like I've kind of got like little spots all over the place.
Same.
Because I feel like down in Texas, I'm very opinionated on like where the best brisket place is, but I feel like you can kind of like Texas does barbecue very, very well, but like I don't think we've specialized in pork like we have in brisket. There's definitely people that have.
Sure.
But like just as like a general rule, I think there's some more interesting pork places in other parts of the U.S.
Like Kansas City.
I'll agree with that.
But I've never had brisket outside of Texas that I was like, this is better than what we do.
What was that spot in Memphis where it was like in a back alleyway?
There was a blues club.
And you go down a flight of stairs in a back alley, and it was
That's
like unfreaking believable.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, I just remember, it's back alley. There's no sign for it really. And then you just, go down some stairs. And like, that's one of the better rib places I've ever been to.
I think the best pork ribs I've ever had, Jake and I went one day, we were playing the Blue Note in Columbia, Missouri. Mm-hmm. And like, we walked out the front door of the venue and looked to the right and there was just a ton of people. And we looked to the left and there was little bitty barbecue place that just said ribs in the window. I was like, that seems like our spot, and there's no line.
Yeah.
We walked in, it's like 5 tables, and just some of the best ribs I've ever eaten. I don't remember the name of it, but it's right downtown Columbia.
There's several spots like near, like I think in Atlanta, and like they used to be like old, like some of them still have like Hammond organs and stuff in them, like just pushed up in the corner. And I think just like blues clubs.
Okay.
And they used to be like little small dance halls, like blues clubs, and like now it's like they just have like condiments on top of these like legendary instruments. But it's kind of those places where you like
just getting murdered with it the whole time.
I've been sitting here
I wasn't gonna say anything about it.
Vibing hard.
just blowing the smoke away. I'm so tired of being hit in the face by that.
Sorry.
but there's a lot of those like kind of places where the people who own the place are there and they don't have teeth and the ribs are obscenely like tender.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be, yeah.
Yeah, like it does have to be, but I don't know. There's several kind of, I don't know. I think one of my favorite things about playing music for a living is getting to just travel and eat food everywhere.
Yeah, the food.
I have a buddy that's a guitarist that I toured with that like he's kept like the best document of all the great coffee, food, drink.
I've been wanting to
job on
He keeps it in his notes. I'll ask him to send it to me every now and then because he still tours and like.
The only thing I write down
incredible.
is the parking good or not.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like the parking is bad, and we're like in our like Sprinter with the trailer. It's like we're not going.
We're not going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is this place good enough that we're gonna go park and then Uber over?
yeah.
And like, nah. Yeah. But I think so. My barbecue obsession has led me down a strange road this last year, and I think some of the best like barbecue out there would be like traditional pastrami. I've become addicted to trying to make like authentic like Jewish pastrami and like brining and everything. Right now, that's kind of my barbecue obsession.
I can get behind that. I like good deli meats, good pastrami.
Yeah.
Have you ever spent a time like on the East Coast doing the Jewish deli stuff? There's a good spot in Houston.
I've never met a meat I didn't like. You know,
That sounds like a
man.
challenge. I feel like I could cook something that you would not like. I've never done that
I
intentionally.
don't like duck.
Oh, really?
I don't like duck.
Really? Interesting.
Cooked anyway. I mean,
I've never had it cooked in a way that I liked.
interesting.
Interesting.
Didn't like the
I like
Chinese
most
like
birds,
Peking duck thing.
No, not for
is
me.
this too
Never tried it?
gamey or
Okay.
what?
Yeah, I don't like the gamey, and I like gamey. I like a venison. I like elk. I like a lot of gamey, even birds, but just duck.
Interesting. We have a bunch of chickens. We were gonna get ducks out here, but I don't like killing flightless ducks.
Sure.
Yeah. I just don't
I
want
could
to do
throw
it.
them off the top of the barn for you.
Pull. Throws it like a football.
Don't come at us, PETA. I'm joking. No ducks were harmed in this filming.
Oh man.
I don't even like them. Yeah. I wouldn't even eat it.
I don't know why chickens are just like so stupid that it's just like, oh God, like you just whatever. But a duck, I'm like, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's not a swan. It's just a duck.
I know. But like the flight, like this Pekin ducks or whatever, they're big white, like beautiful ducks. Yeah. It's not like the wild ones or whatever that are like the little tiny up there, like from the video game.
There's a hotel in Houston that has the Peking ducks, the white ones in the lobby, floating around in the pool.
Yeah. I've heard
it's
about
like
that. Don't they like
near the
walk
medical
them?
center? Yeah, they like walk them out.
It's kind of like the Peabody in Memphis, except
Yeah.
the Peabodys are just kind of ratchet ducks. They kind of all kind of different kind of ducks.
Really? They're just kind of
really?
whoever duck shows up today.
Oh man.
They walk in from the elevator, and it's like a whole thing. I've stayed at the Peabody a few times in Memphis.
It's a thing, yeah.
They open the
It's a
elevator.
little duck parade.
they, like,
Okay, that's
walk
what I'm
away.
thinking of. I saw
There's one in
an
Houston
article
that's
about it.
Talking about this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally go to a walking of the ducks.
It was. I mean, I went as a kid, and it was pretty incredible. I went back as an adult, and it was less incredible, but still memorable.
It's just like an indoor version of like going to like a finish line at a marathon or something. It gets that same kind of thing, but indoors
ducks.
and ducks.
And ducks. They're not really racing. They're just kind of like in a line.
Yeah, they're just
Ducking,
going.
you know?
They're just going to where they're
Just a
going.
little harder decks.
And like we haven't been asking. You're our second guest on the podcast, and we've been trying to bring this up when we're around other musicians. What do you think of the DuckTales theme song?
I love it.
Isn't it good?
I'm for it.
I have a buddy that we used to cover it.
Dude,
Really?
Yeah.
we've talked about
Dusty
it.
Morris, shout out. Yeah, random, like one of the first dudes that I played acoustic with as a fiddle player used to cover the DuckTales theme song.
Dude, it's
That's
a pretty
hilarious.
serious like We always joke it's like that. That's one of the best cases of like show up for the job you want, not the one you have.
Right?
Like that
Whoever
song's nuts.
did that
It didn't have to go that hard.
No, it's a kid show.
It's a bop, as the kids say.
It's a bop. Is that what they're calling it these
I mean,
days?
I know it
such
was
a
at some
jam.
point.
I thought it was
recently.
that it slaps now.
It slaps. There it is. It's a bop slap.
Well, I feel like we could sit here and talk all day.
Yeah. You want to go play some music then?
Yeah,
I think it's about
Do we
that
need to get
time.
a couple things out of the way? What show? What are you watching?
What are we watching, Marcy B? Yellowstone. Everybody's watching Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, yeah,
sounds
yeah.
great.
1980.
Ooh, she really likes Mayor of Bridgetown, which
Oh
is
yeah,
another Taylor
She
Sheridan
started
show.
watching that. Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've been watching a lot of painting restoration on YouTube.
Okay.
Bumgarner's painting restoration
I try
on the
to
buzz
avoid
at
those.
home.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty soothing voice. I can nap to it.
Do you
never
watch
surprised
those and then start impulsively redoing stuff at your house?
No,
Oh, okay, good.
no, absolutely not.
Okay.
She does, but I do
I
not.
can't. If I watch that or if I watch cooking shows, like I'm just like, oh, I could do that, and then there goes my whole year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not the best cook in our house. I'm barely in the top 2. I think one of the dogs might be better than me.
I can do breakfast, and I'm also not a handyman. So
I can fix a lot of things. I was an electrician for a little while after college.
That's nice.
Well, I guess during college, after high school. It taught me a lot about, how electricity and music things work because signal flow matters.
yeah.
Right.
It also shocked me a bunch and cut my hands up. And
Did you learn how to read? Can you now look
Spec
at like
sheets?
Can you look at like your amp schematic and know what it is?
I mean, I can follow it. I don't know what all the things do because I didn't work on that stuff that small. I never worked on an amp. It's all like houses and stuff.
All of like the tube theory stuff is like, I had a guy, one of my dad's best friends came to help me build amps for a while, and he was like he's retired a little bit ago, and even like whenever he was going through college 30, 40 years ago, I don't want to make him sound too old. He's a really sweet dude. I don't know how old you are.
A few years ago,
Sorry-
when he was
sorry,
in
Jerry.
he was in school.
But he was telling me even like he was like this tube theory was like outdated when he was in college, and so it's just like, oh man, I feel like there's nowhere to really learn that unless you're like a specialty dude.
Yeah, I
I
don't
see YouTube now.
They're hard to find someone to work on. Like that I trust working on
Especially
an old tube amp.
and like we have so much like vintage stuff. It's a lot can go wrong.
Yeah, we're pretty picky on who works on our stuff.
Speaking
Yeah.
of tube amps, there's some sitting outside on the porch.
Okay,
Bringing
one
us back
more
around.
question, and we'll get to
We're
it.
gonna circle
One
back
more.
around to that.
Circle back.
One more. This is like the snooze on your alarm clock.
I
It's like I
appreciate
get it. I'm supposed to do
Just a
stuff.
little bit.
Keep
Just
on
a
hitting
little
snooze
bit
on this
more.
Merle Haggards song.
Snooze.
All right, last question. Go.
Favorite Fast and Furious movie?
Good question.
We don't have to accept that any of them are
Family
good.
Saga.
Nice.
But you
All
still
of
have to have a favorite.
Corona.
Nice.
I like Tokyo Drift.
I get that.
A lot of cool colors.
That's the first time we've gotten that answer.
A lot of cool colors.
Also the first time we asked.
But it is now a part of
Now
our
it's
podcast culture.
Yeah, in our running list of votes for best Fast and Furious movie, there's a clear winner with one vote.
One vote.
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift. I bet you weren't expecting that.
No, and I think that now that we're talking about Tokyo Drift, this sets up a really great transition for us to do a musical Tokyo Drift.
Merle Haggards.
Of Merle Haggard.
Working Man Blues.
Merle Haggard was always known as the Tokyo Drift of the country world.
Yeah.
I've always heard that. Yes.
Yeah.
He's the
It's an
Tokyo
insider
Drift of his
thing.
time.
Yeah. If
A lot of people don't know that,
Yeah.
but a lot of people do.
If you're a real serious picker, you already know.
Hey, thank you for coming on.
Well, it's a big job just getting by with 9 kids and a wife. I've been a working man damn near all my life, and I'll keep on working just as long as my 2 hands are fit to use. Well, I drink my beer in the tavern and sing a little bit of these working man blues. Well, I keep my nose on the grindstone. I work hard every day, and I find time on the weekend. After I draw my pay and I go back to working, I gotta buy my kid a brand new pair of shoes. Well, I drink my beer in the evening and sing a little bit of these working man blues. Let's pick a little bit. Man like me, never been on welfare, and that's one place I won't be, 'cause I'll be working. I gotta buy my kid a brand new pair of shoes. I drink my beer at the tavern and sing a little bit of these working man blues. One more time.
Huntsville, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug. Well, he's out of Denver now.
Oh, he's in Dollywood.
Bree was playing the Outdoor Stage at Steamboat one year.